Poet on next, who I met at the Poetry Society. Her name is Hilaire. She grew up in Melbourne but moved to London, as she's put it, half a lifetime ago. She's got a publication called Triptych Poets Issue 1 in Australia, which features a selection of her poems. And her novel, Hearts on Ice, was published by Sergeant's Tale in 2000. And can I welcome, and can you give a big welcome to Hilaire?
Thank you. I'm going to start with a few poems from Triptych Poets, which was published a few years ago, and alongside two other Australian poets. Listen and repeat. Madame Fong ruled the language lab, doubly exotic in crepe de chine and discreet jade jewellery. Cupping a hand expectantly around her petite and foreign ear, a coquettish tilt to her head, she trilled, "Écoutez et répétez." Clunk of tape machine. The ears of 20 Presbyterian ladies resounded to "Je voudrais une tasse de thé." Affecting ennui, we chanted "Je voudrais une tasse de thé." Too much Antipodean twang to please Madame Fong. Between classes, we mimicked her gestures, hands poised at our ears, declaiming "Écoutez et répétez," rolling our R's with relish. We did not know our privilege. The boat people were in the news. Madame Fong taught us French. We remained disengaged. Désolée, Madame Fong. Je suis désolée. The Colonel's Daughter's House. Across the way stands the Colonel's Daughter's House. It crowns a low hill, aloof from the sea of maize fields. Square, solid, two-storied. Closed metal shutters like swabs of iodine on the pale body of the house. It is 6 months since the ambulance beat its slow retreat from the Colonel's Daughter's house. Down the lane, along the B road, no siren, just a faint pulse of blue light struggling against the sun. Henri cut the throttle on his tractor, observing the solitary cortege, while the sprinkler in his field flicked long sprays of water like an indifferent priest blessing the crop. Out of nowhere, a donkey's plaint sawed the country quiet in half. No one can remember now exactly when the Colonel died, nor which war he fought in. He was a hero, that at least is beyond doubt. Who now will remember the Colonel's daughter, living embodiment of her father's memory down the years? In far-flung towns and villages, great-nephews, third cousins twice removed, begin to stir, expectant presences circling high above the Colonel's daughter's house, disturbing the air. Across the way, we stand and watch. Electric storms break one after another, gathering in beauty and intensity. It is only a matter of time until they pass. We await the arrival of the notary, the plain notice on the gate, the chance at last to breathe the dust in the Colonel's daughter's house. Snake Valley. Come live with me in Snake Valley. There's a bungalow, 10 acres, 2 dams. I'll teach you to swim, how to fend off the yabbies as they tickle and nip at our toes. You will escort spiders off the premises. I'll deal with the ants. The water in our taps will run honey pale, tasting of childhood. In the long baking afternoons, we'll lie low in the creaking cool of the house. When it rains, we'll dance and hoot in the mud. And the snakes will leave us alone if we return the favour. At dusk, strolling our acres, we must remember to bang a stick, scan the ground ahead. And this poem I wrote after attending a lecture by the French philosopher Alain Badiou. After Badiou, Being, Existence and Death, the British Library, 4th of April 2007. We emerge wordless into the night, discovering ourselves afresh as ruptures on the surface of the world. Our universe reels and tilts under the ever-expanding multiplicity of multiplicities explicated by the suave professor, until the reverent atmosphere is punctured by your profound mishearing. Did he say the god of philosophy is a Russian sheep? Unleashed, we hurtle pubwards, enraptured, bursting, full. Thank you. Quite a while ago, I lived in Berlin for about 6 months, and this poem is just one little aspect of that experience. Mohnkuchen. I eat it for the sound of it. Mohn, round and full in my mouth, somewhere between a sigh and a moan. The Konditorei becomes my German school. Ein Stück Mohnkuchen bitte, perfectly pronounced, my tongue puckering in anticipation of the moist slice. In the half moon of pastry, the poppy seeds glisten blackly like a mound of caviar. Their taste is sweet and earthy. I'm eating German soil. Then my tongue seeks out the last lingering seeds, black diamonds, encrusted in the cracks of my teeth. Gift list. Never give knives. You risk domestic discord, fingertip soup, a sundered friendship. Never give pillows. The danger is multiple. Sleep ruptured by filthy dreams, feather sensitivity, suffocation. Think twice before you give advice. Cake may be more appropriate, or shoes. One size rarely fits all. Never give cuttlefish except to a budgie. Others may question your motive, repay you in kind. Horseradish, lipstick, porcelain knickknacks, all best avoided unless you are sure in your instinct. Keep the receipt just in case. You know the rest. Give with an open heart. Give without expecting to receive, etc. Always remove the price tag. And as Anna mentioned, I've lived in London half my life or more probably now, so I'm very happy and comfortable to call myself a Londoner now, and this is a London poem. Cheers. Low tide on the river, a whiff of seaweed or London drains. Sun at last. Plane trees loll their still bare limbs over the embankment wall. Gulls trespass pigeon airspace above the Morpeth Arms, where pavement drinkers toast the early May bank holiday. No one believes the forecast. And I live in a flat without a garden, but I've always regarded Battersea Park as kind of my garden that I don't have to do any work in. But in the last couple of years I've got involved with the community garden, and this poem is kind of about the beginning of my journey into gardening. And the title, pretentiously, is in French, and it just means unfulfilled gardener. Jardinière manquée. I am fully unhardy, prone to bone chill, intolerant of damp and sog. I shrink from snails. Worms turn me delicate. I dig through words, not soil. I am weed blind. Seed packets remain sealed, each one an unsolved cryptic clue. A park bench gardener, I soak up the fruits of others' everlasting labours. The only skill I have to share is this appreciation. The pianist. The pianist knows about knuckles. He knows about stones, about pebbles. He knows how to carry his bulk, how to move across shingle as if nothing could buckle his tread. Rings glint on 3 fingers, enough to stop questions or chip a tooth. The pianist's suit is sharp, single-breasted, somewhere between charcoal and slate. He will not wear a tie. Against the sunrise or the sunset, his buzzcut feigns a halo, dies back to salty bristles. You would not disturb him at his pint. And when he sits at the piano, he knows about hush, about seashells. He knows how to halt the tide, persuade the oceans to listen. I'll finish with a poem that was published in the expanded Emma Press mildly erotic verse anthology. Banana Fadji. He peels the skin part way back, 3 flaps drooping like a luscious tropical flower trumpeting its stamen. She skins the thing completely, no messing, just brute exposure of the fruit, holding it fair in her fingers, a squidgy boomerang. The dirty deed itself is done behind each other's backs. Some acts are best imagined, the greedy gobble, the slow-mo chewing down to pulp. Their afterglow, a pair of empty sacks, bedding down together, making sweet compost. Thank you.